mum, my auntie, and now me, passed on generation having eye disease. I'm gonna be probably blind by in late 50s and 60s, right? No, actually, that was this, yeah.
Oh.
So I have this thing, right? So that's one of the main reasons I've always tried to do something special, or something, not special, but something extra, like so YouTube, Ocean One, trying to build my own thing. Because I'm gonna have, not just a timer set on it, like, I'm gonna have a limited time, right?
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our first guest. He's been on the Irish YouTube scene for a long time.
He's now the CEO of his own brand, Ocean One Official, an up-and-coming Irish streetwear brand. We're proud to introduce Keenan Brangan.
Welcome back to another episode of the Barstool Boys. I'm Nathan.
I'm Sean.
Back for week 2. Let's get into it. So last week we did a couple of polls. We get straight into the polls. On the polls we did the gifts that for Christmas that we rate. We did selection boxes, we did socks and jocks, slippers,
Vouchers.
and tough one. What was this? Heads like sieves.
Link set.
Link sets.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
So
the ordinance sets, yeah.
yeah. So I have the results here. So selection boxes, 70% of people that vote on the polls like them. So that's solid.
The sweets. And
Yeah.
Depending on
But if
which,
you don't have a sweet tooth, do you get a selection box of crisps, like a savoury sweet?
it's just kind of like a traditional thing though,
Yeah.
isn't it? Like you have to get a selection box of
Yeah,
Christmas.
look, I didn't get one from your man, she was a little upset. So
No. Selection boxes kind of go hand in hand with
Yeah.
Christmas.
yeah, they do.
You know,
Yeah,
it's like for,
yeah. Slippers.
Slippers got 60%, so a little bit down.
But that's comfort, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought slippers would have been 80 or 90 myself.
Yeah, see, it depends, isn't it? It's split between the lads and the girls. Maybe the girls
Yeah.
are more, but maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. I like a slip. See, I was saying this like there last week. The sliders are kind of, but they're
Yeah, but then we counted them out, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, so fair enough.
Link sets 40% and it's fucking bang on as well because I fucking hate them. No one thinks you have to get your links. You don't
For me personally, I just love link sets, any deodorant sets, because you have them then for age. You don't have to buy deodorant
you
then.
walk in the shop.
I know, but just, see, as soon as I finish that shift, I'm out there.
Yeah.
Don't want to be there. Don't want to know you. Tesco.
Sayonara!
Gone. You're going to do that as well.
Jocks and socks got 80%, which is a fucking everyday use, like, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know yourself when you get them nice Nike, Adidas.
Yeah, remember what I said, if someone gets you a pair of, I didn't say it now actually, I thought about it, hip huggers, right?
Yeah.
They have to get you a large. I don't have a big hunk, like I said, but they don't fit. They don't
No,
fit.
yeah, there is nothing worse than when the belly just kind of rolls over that, you know. You just like, I can't wear these until I lose weight and I'm not really prepared to give
Standing
up.
at the end of Mrs. Bed looking at her like that.
You think I'm sexy? No, yeah, socks and jocks. Once you're getting the good ones, like I said, don't come at me with authentic apparel and don't come at me with a pair of Wilson socks or they're getting thrown straight in the fire. Last one then, 80% like the vouchers.
Yeah, solid gift. Now,
Can't really go wrong.
but like, my Mrs. Ma got me a coffee voucher and I thought that was like 100% better than getting me.
Yes, that was my
anything.
missus.
Coffee voucher?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah,
solid.
Starbucks. Yeah, unreal, because it's like you can like, and now I'm guilty of doing it. I'll just go in and grab a Dundrum voucher because it's an easy present.
Yeah.
And, like, you can go pick what you want, but you feel like when they've done that, they've put a little bit
Little bit
more,
of thought.
a little bit of thought. They're like, put a little personal touch on
It's
it.
like what we said about the praise. If you like to get a bit of praise, that's
Yeah.
like. So I always think that people, if someone remembers something that I said to them about 6-8 months ago, I'm like, Jesus, that
Yeah.
person likes me.
So that's the first of our mates rates. That's yeah. So we have another one for this week, but we'll put that up in the middle of the episode.
We speak to, I guess.
1 second. So we're just going to touch back on last week's episode as well.
Yeah.
How did you think it went yourself?
No, I like the feedback from it. Some was positive, some was not so positive.
Someone was savage.
You wouldn't expect it either.
Oh, stop me. Oh, it hits me.
When you put yourself out there, you expect a slap on the wrist from some people and you expect a high five from the rest.
Yeah. Not from the blood though. Well, however, we move on. We do take the criticism on board, and it is appreciated once there's a point to it.
Yeah.
I thought as went down, we got into it as well. It was good. I enjoyed
Yeah,
that.
I did notice in the first 15 minutes, even watching it back, I was like, this is fucking undribbling on here a bit, like, but then as it got into it, it all started to link up. It was like we got more content in front of the camera. Yeah.
And it will get better. Other than that, yeah, I'm happy. So you're gonna be getting us weekly, and yeah, just tune in and enjoy.
Fortunately for some, unfortunately for the rest.
Right, introducing our first guest, Keenan Brangan. If you don't know him, get to know him, and those who do know him, he's a legend. Keenan, tell us a bit about yourself.
On the spot, man, on the spot.
Sorry. Just what kind of stuff you do, like what you do, like how I know you and all like that, like.
Yeah, so we actually met. As long as lockdowns and all are getting. Like what was it?
Can't keep up with the times.
2016 was 6 years ago.
I still keep putting down like 2021 on things because I can't keep, like I feel like we've just lost the year. But I think it was the first lockdown. So you're obviously an Irish YouTuber on the scene.
Yeah, that was I was doing that since I was 16, man. When I came through going to the gym, and then I just started obviously recording myself, and I kind of got more into the side of the making the videos and the training part. But then I started getting really into the training, and then I was in that for a while. We kind of got in touch then with that. It was going fairly well, and then lockdowns kind of came in.
Killed it, didn't it?
Absolutely killed it, man.
Because obviously, as a YouTuber, you only have so much like content that you can use.
Bro, especially when you're the weights I had, they were falling apart. Like big back on your head, like Jesus Christ, man. But, no, man. Back then it was all just like fitness, man. It was all like all I wanted to do really. Like left school, finished my leaving cert, and 2 weeks later I was in doing my PT course. Like so, I'd already thought about that. So leaving cert.
Did you get your degree now from it?
Yeah, man. I got that, and then I went straight into it. Like it was going really well, man. I was training people kind of everywhere. Like. I think I had one lad in the UK, 2 lads in the UK. It wasn't just Ireland. Like, that was the thing.
Zoom, or?
It was on. Yeah, basically, like you were doing like your check-ins online, and then, like it wasn't like it was more so people that already kind of knew how to train. It was just that extra step. So it wasn't really a PT for someone that was just starting. It was someone that was already into it, and I was giving them the extra bits.
It's kind of like the not life coaching, but like you had a little bit of extra. They knew what they were doing, pretty big. But you knew how to get into the next level. They were already here,
yeah. So it wasn't even like critiquing their form. So they already knew what they were doing. It was just that extra step, man. If they were looking at going on stage or something like that. Like, and people were always kind of saying, like, a lot of my family didn't really understand the online thing. So it's like you're just fucking sitting in your room doing nothing. Like the thing about that was like the reach you could get. I couldn't train someone from the UK if I was training in person. Do you know what I mean? So like it was a reach for that. Like, but then I don't know, man. I just kind of started falling out of love with it. It was taking away from. There was actually a point where like I was actually going to gyms that were like 2 hours away just so I was getting the bus, spending like 4 or 5 hours on the bus in a day, so I could go to the gym that had better machines for the videos. Yeah. And your workouts were getting ruined by just recording the thing, like so. And
the travel's taking the pump out of you to get there,
And the videos were taking days to edit, like it was just, and you kind of weren't getting like, not that you wanted recognition, but you kind of weren't getting like what you're putting in for it. You getting like, so you're obviously kind of everyone wants like you're not a pat on the back, but you want to get something for what you're putting in.
Validation for like what, because like you know, like even though me and another lad done a few small videos, so that's actually how I actually came across you. Was I was looking for Irish YouTubers, fitness wise. Yeah. And you came up, and I was like, oh, this lad, and you're only a young lad. You look so much younger.
Yeah, I was like 16 when I started doing it.
Still looks 16.
Yeah, he looks like a mature 16. I tell you what, the women don't mind them. I tell you from the stories you tell us. We're gonna get you in trouble. But I just remember looking and going, this lad's deadly, like, and because there was other lads there, and it sounds like a blown smoke up your ass, but there was other lads that, you know, I won't name names, but it's a bit false, it's a bit kind of cheesy, whereas you were raw and authentic, and I like that.
When I say things that, like, you know, I might get in trouble, but that's why people kind of like it a lot. I had a bit of a, not following them, but a few cool people that was stuff that were kind of watching them for the fact that I wasn't like, I never really had in my mind that I wanted to be like a Gymshark model or something like that. So, like, I didn't really care about that stuff, but like, it was kind of like, I was putting like, you know, my videos as well, and I was putting a lot of effort into that. But it didn't go amiss, man, because then I started Ocean One, like, that all that videos skills I can then put into that.
And I think you need to tell people about Ocean One. Obviously those who know what Ocean One is will know, but even looking at the gear there now, man, it's sick. Like, it's
so the next thing that's,
you know what it is, when you see the gear online, and like it looks quality, but when he came in and he shows the feel, like the thickness of it, man,
But tell the people what
so obviously, like, I was doing the YouTube thing, and then I wasn't not that you're getting no satisfaction out of it, but you're not, you know what I mean? Like,
you're not progressing.
Yeah, so then when we started dropping Ocean One, like the clothes, when you're getting sales, you're getting that satisfaction. Someone's like, you're putting on something that you love and you put a lot of work into and people are buying it. You're getting that satisfaction, but you're also like helping yourself as well.
Yeah. So what is Ocean One? How did it start?
How did it start, man? Jesus, man. So, you know what? I actually couldn't tell you how it properly started, but it kind of like, I just used to do stuff.
Conversations,
I always have, man. I've just like not really thought about stuff and just gone into it, and then I'm kind of in the middle of that. I'm like, what am I after starting? Like, do you know what I mean? But I think I was in TY in school, man, and I was always really into art in school. Like I used to paint and stuff like that as well. I was always really into like that kind of side of things, like where that's like actual art, but now it's more like kind of filming and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But me and Oisin were in TY. There's nothing to do in TY, man. Do you know what I mean? You're just fucking going down the back of the school, man. You're just chilling, niching school all day, like. And his name was Oisin, and this is actually how the name started, right? We used to make these t-shirts, and my whole thing was, do you know what Virgil Abloh is, Off-White?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Off-White, yeah. So that's
He actually died, didn't he?
Yeah, he actually died there recently, man.
Yeah.
And, like, that'd be like one of the ones, like, you know when you're like, you get older, your man dies, someone died, like, and you, who the fuck's that?
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the kind of first ones that we were kind of like,
What was he?
He was a fashion designer, but he was kind of the first kind of one of our generation.
Well, he was with big brands as well. He wasn't just with Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, but Off-White was his kind of thing that he started, man. But we were kind of being like, oh, you want to be like him or in art and all. So we used to make these t-shirts, right? And just paint on them like they'd wash off, like you couldn't wash them. But his name was Oisin and my name was Keenan. So together it was Ocean. So then we put Ocean.
Oh god, that's deadly. That is. I didn't even know that, man.
Yeah,
That's unreal.
that's how the name started, right? And then when I started doing the branding myself, I was like, what am I going to call it? And I said, you know what, I'm going to keep it Ocean 1 because that's what we kind of had a plan to do, right?
Yeah.
And then it was kind of a bit of a stupid way to have a name, right? But the way I kind of stuck with it, I was thinking about changing it when I first started, but the way I kind of stuck with it was, my biggest fear is the ocean, man, right? So like,
it's the very unknown, man. I remember being in the ocean and seeing jellyfish and all that.
yeah, it's like that, right? It's, you ever see like when say the Titanic or something, right?
Yeah.
That sinks, right? And you can't see land, right? What way do you swim? Do you know what I mean? You can't see the land, so
don't get me into that.
The land could be just here, right? And like you'd be here and you're swimming that way, you're swimming away from the land, do you know what I mean?
Don't know, that kills me.
That was the ocean, man.
Yeah.
Ocean and whites, that's my.
Yeah, the ocean, man. So that freaked me out, right? So when I started doing this, I was like, right, this is like a big thing for me, man. Because I kind of like stopped doing the YouTube thing, and I was like, this is like make or break for me, man. If this doesn't work out, I'm gonna have to go get something that just what I want to do. Do you know what I mean?
job.
If you haven't guessed by now, Keenan owns a clothing brand.
Yeah.
So we probably should have explained that. But
and then the ocean one, the one is for me. So I think personally that the brand's gonna grow to something really, really big in the future. Like, and it's kind of always reminding me that it started off with me.
Yeah.
Because I'm putting all the work in now, not the fucking dummy on.
I
mean, but
yeah.
you're putting all the effort.
And then,
as you know, you see big companies that like they get really, really big, and then in a few years, like that person kind of moved on. It's such a big
Or
thing.
sells the company on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so kind of my fear on me was what it was. So that then when I see it in a few years when it's really big, then that's like showing that it started off with just one, and I kind of conquered that.
So do you think
that's amazing? That is. I'm shocked. Like that. Like I didn't even the name and all. Like
I didn't know it came from that. Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah.
But do you think what Ocean One, like you're saying, that's your fear, and then that's you? Do you think it stems from the fact that you were afraid of putting yourself out there and making this brand and putting it out there? So that's your fear, and then now you're conquering that fear.
Yeah, that's literally what it is.
Yeah.
But it's not even. You know what, man? I've never really been scared to kind of put myself out there because I don't know, man. I just never.
Really doing YouTube,
yeah.
like you're literally a bloke walking around with a camera and have people turning around all. Who's this arsehole filming himself?
It mightn't have worked out in that sense, but it's given me a lot of skills. Like it's given me a lot of like, you get a lot of hate and stuff from TikTok and all, but I don't really care, man. I have thick skin because of that. You get the filming skills.
But that's some idiot behind the phone. Like I'm not being smart, but I hate all this cancel culture and stuff where it's like, like for example, the big thing with Money May where she said everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. And I'm not being smart, right? It sounds so stupid, it sounds so thick when you put it on paper like that in black and white, right? But there's a grey area there. If David Goggins said that, and I've watched videos of him saying that, everyone's like, oh, that's brilliant, he's brilliant. And it's like, she put herself out there, she had a brand, then she went on Love Island, she done that, and then now people brought her on a CEO podcast, and all of a sudden everyone's giving her hate. And like, you shouldn't be cancelled for something like that, for something that you said. She didn't go out there and say anything racist.
No, I don't think she's cancelled, but I think as well, like
people are painting her like.
I think, I think like her like looking down on someone. Now, again, we were saying this earlier. I don't think she actually meant any malice by it. Yeah. But it's just, I think that's what people get pissed off. But then at the same time, people just love to kind of have a moan and like and have a go at people doing well.
But how easy is it to go home after work that you a job that you hate, or even sitting in work and go home and see someone doing what you would probably love to do, or what they love to do, comment on it and go, oh, you fucking idiot. Like.
That's all it is, man. Because I would never really arsed. Like, see if I saw something like, hey, yeah, I'd be like, you are just on all. Like, I just
Yeah.
go past it.
I get this all the time. I do this all. So obviously you can tell by the surroundings, big Celtic fans in the house.
Yeah.
But so all my TikTok is just like Celtic videos.
Yeah.
And whenever it comes up, like there's a like, so I go into the comment section and I see Rangers fans.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I really want to write something. And I always just pull myself back because I just can't be arsed going into the back and forth.
Yeah.
With some bloke that I don't know.
Just
What's the effect was that?
My phone listen to us.
no, but you know what, man? There's a difference between hate and there's like constructive
That's back there as
criticism.
well, though. Like,
Yeah, that's different. But I mean, when someone's like just doing it just to be an arsehole, man, there's difference between that and I wouldn't mind if someone said, look, the clothes aren't the best, like you gotta do this to make it better. Rather than someone
Yeah,
like,
which is exactly what we got into when we were in the intro. We were saying like we get people giving feedback and people who are putting themselves out there and constructive criticism, and then there's people who turn around and go, that, you know, mate, that was shit, and you're like, give me something to work on so I can make that better. Yeah.
100%. There's people that just want to have their voice out. Oh, you know what I'm saying?
You know what that is? That's the shot alarm. That's the shot alarm. I'm gonna break your stride here, boys. I'm the messer.
innocent shots together, Jesus Christ. Heavy that, man.
We may put blank out the what the shot is because we'll be getting socks from everywhere.
We'll be getting brand deals in a few years from Proper 12, hopefully.
Yeah.
What was I saying there?
Oh, look, he's had to put himself on a bad level, so trying to get us on that level.
Who?
You with your bollocks. You built that right up and then you just said, oh, that's a big one. Yeah, what's the big one too?
Yeah, well, that can be even.
Yeah, but mate, that's a cup, that is like.
Boys.
Right, I'm going to make a toast here to Ocean 1.
Ocean 1.
Ocean 1.
Ocean 1 and the bar still boys.
And like,
Yes, boys.
Solid. Lovely.
Boy.
that's nice, man. That could have been actual tequila or something.
Yeah, no, yeah. I was going to do something. Maybe for the next one we get rugby.
Yeah, so just getting back into it there, what we were saying, yeah.
Yeah, so basically all like around kind of cancel culture. It is the world, and you'll get yourself in trouble for saying this, but like growing up as a ginger, you learn to take stick.
Yeah.
I'm physically thick-skinned and mentally thick-skinned. Do you know what I mean? You get into a slagging match with me, I'll go all day, but and I'll go off of someone else's like age. So
Yeah.
but I think the world, everyone's so mollycoddled these days.
I was
like,
going to say that everything's too clean now, man.
Yeah.
See, like if like the people I like kind of relate to, man, are the people that not that they don't care, but like they're not afraid to get cancelled because you can see straight away when someone's holding back and stuff.
Yeah.
So, do you think you got that from, well, so obviously you were in the YouTube scene, and obviously before you get into the YouTube scene, you watch the YouTube scene. So when I watch, like the YouTubers that I watch, they actually have a thing where they say, the sidemen and stuff like that, they actually say, you can't be cancelled unless you do A, B and C, right? And it's racism, rape, and paedophilia. That's it, and do you know what I mean?
That's fair,
or murder, obviously, but like, see what I'm saying to me, because if he keeps annoying me. but that's a genuine thing. Like, look, I get it. If you put up a tweet previously and you said something extremely racist or to that effect, but like, educate me. You know what I mean? If you think I'm saying something wrong, I'm all about that. I want the education, and that's why we were saying we started the podcast because we want to hear stories. We want to learn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, even like, and again, going back to cancel culture, I know this is a little bit different, but Instagram getting taken down.
Oh man,
We didn't even touch on that, but like, we had obviously started up the page, the Instagram page, to get a bit of a following for the first episode, and then it got taken down because you were sending around.
but it wasn't like I was sending it around to everyone.
Yeah.
I was sending it around to people that followed it, just to say, look, will you get
Just a gentle reminder. Like, you can swipe past the thing if you want. You don't have to, like, but the thing got taken down, so it's like
so whoever it
everything
was.
is a reason to get cancelled. Yeah, wanker. So
loose now.
yeah, I know. We gotta calm down. But so again, going back to the point, I think the world is going a bit soft. It's a dangerous game to get into because there's going to just be rules and regulations around absolutely everything you do.
Yeah.
You're walking on eggshells. And
I have something controversial to throw out there, right? In my opinion.
be like you.
In my opinion, in a few years, right, the way the world is going, if it continues to go this way, right, we are going to be in trouble for eating meat.
Genuinely. We already are.
No, I get that. When you see the posters and it's like, oh, help me, I'm chicken. Like, no, it's survival of the fittest. You were made for me to eat. I want to eat a bit of meat. I'm not a herbivore. I'm an omnivore.
But you don't, like, again, I know I'd say we'd be all kind of cut from the same cloth. Like, we wouldn't. I'd never look at a vegan or a vegetarian or anyone that does something that's different to me and go, why are you doing that? Even
Until you show them
vaccines and anti-vaccines.
Yeah.
I think like on a bigger scale, I think why is everyone taking a side? Do what you want to do. Once you're not hurting someone or harming
Why is
someone.
everyone so concerned about other people?
Yeah.
But no one's pinning you down and jabbing you with the needle, and if they are, then it's a problem.
I think anti-vaxxers are as bad as vaxxers, and vaxxers are as bad as anti-vaxxers.
Because-
Just on that topic, like.
Anyone that's too like much on one side.
Down your neck, like.
Any like people that like there's right and there's wrong, but there's people that just try force their agenda on you.
Yes,
There's
That's
also-
I don't care how right you are.
Yeah.
But like, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, do
people
you?
fucking live their
Do
life,
you?
man.
Once you, that's my real. Once you're not harming someone else, you know that you do you. Walk away and do what makes you happy. Because at the end of the day, again, get a bit deep here. You probably only get one go at this. You know, if you're a religious believer and all like that. Again, going back to the point, do you? But you know, we don't know if that what comes after. So, like, just enjoy it.
That's exactly it, man. Like, you could walk around and lead and all four or something, but like, as long as it doesn't bother me.
And you don't put me on the lead. You don't put me.
thought you were talking about me dog.
Jesus Christ. But, once you're not forcing your agenda on someone else, and you're just like, I just don't get that shit, man.
That's a good way of putting forcing your agenda. It's like I always go, you're down my neck, but that's a great way of putting it. If you have an agenda and that's what you believe in, you strongly believe in it, you do you, like you say.
Yeah.
But don't breathe it down my neck if I don't believe in it.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, and you know what? The one thing is as well is people that are so invested in their opinions that they're afraid to change their opinions.
Yes.
If you came to me with, I don't know what it was about, like, but certain
Good argument, yeah.
I'd be like, you know, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But some people agree with you, but they kind of like.
Well, you have to educate,
Exactly, man.
Some people are just so close-minded that they don't have the education. It's in one ear and out the other.
Stubbornness is a terrible trait in people.
Here, we've all been there.
Oh, 100%. I can be a stubborn bastard at times, but I'm saying it's a horrible trait. It is like in people, like you can be stubborn and it can kill you. It can kill you from.
Everyone should be open to change, like, and especially with the world the way it is. Like, if people have an opinion on anything, and you should be willing to listen to everybody and go, do you know what? I actually don't agree fully with you, but you have a point. So let you believe that. I believe my thing. Yeah. So, anyways,
I love that. I love that. I thought that was dead.
Yeah, that was
love it. Taking on the world, But going back to Ocean One.
Yeah.
So basically, you started it off, and it's just grown ever since. For people that don't know the Irish rap scene, you're getting big on that.
Yeah, so like when it started, man, I remember because I was working in Lifestyle Sports, right, in Grafton Street. So I was saving, but like the only reason I started
Grafton Street.
Yeah, literally the only reason I got that job was my mom was kind of a bit down my neck about getting a job, so I kind of got in there. When I made that.
I'm still there.
I actually got that job, right. And I was already losing money going in there, so I was paying 40 quid for the bus every week. I was only getting 8 hours, man, so I was coming out about 40 quid a week, right? It was shit. And then COVID happened, so I started getting on the COVID payment, right? But I had saved up a load of money, right? My whole plan was I wanted to move to Barcelona.
Yeah, so
then I bought a puppy, right? So I bought.
I love your dog, by the way.
I asked you to bring her. Where's your mom bring her? Last one had a friend.
Last is too old for that shit.
I was a hyper little bitch, man. But yeah, I got her, and then I realised, oh shit, like I actually have a puppy now, I can't be moving away. So I had a bit of money, had a bit of money saved up, and then you kind of understood when we were going back to work or whatever. So I had a bit saved, and I was like, right, I probably have another 2 months left to go back to work. I loved work in a certain extent. Like, I loved the people there and all. They just banter. That's one thing I kind of miss is like having a workmate. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. Like,
it's something to do when you wake up in the morning.
Yeah. Especially now when I'm just fucking at home alone all day every day.
Push yourself a lot, though. Do you know what I mean?
Nah, I do get the point because like even when I was working from home up there, I'm like. It's such a lonely place. It's like the walls are talking to you sometimes.
It's like it's like for a horrible example to think about. It's like if you became homeless, you were working in an office, and you were sleeping in that office, and getting back up and working in that office.
Yeah, exactly, man. And like, so I was kind of like, I wanted to. I didn't want to be obviously working there for my whole life. I didn't really have a plan set ahead. I kind of fell out of love with a bit of fitness. I was kind of like, wait, what the fuck do I do? Like, right? And me and my mate Jordan, shout out to Cianan Brangan, he used to be always wearing these squared hats, right? I'll never forget, man, how stupid it was that like I'd be getting paid from Lifestyle, and I'd have all the money on the day I buy a D-squared hat.
Yeah.
20 quid, right? Like, right? So I had these hats, and we used to like the whole thing was wearing a D-squared hat. Like it's the same. It's a very good quality hat, like, but it's just you're wearing that brand.
Yeah,
I mean, that's why
you're wearing the
to
sticker on the front. Like.
Exactly. Like, so I was like, you know what? I want to start Ocean One. So my whole thing was, I want to start Ocean One, but how do I start it kind of thing, right? So hats are unisex. They're one size. When you get into jumpers and stuff like that, it's different, man, because you have to have like.
Now when it comes to him, as you
you
said last week, you can't get a hat that fits him.
Nah.
well, these are the
Well,
So he's only looking for a brand.
Man, the hardest thing about starting the brand was like when you don't know anything, you're like, where do I start? Like, so started getting samples and stuff, and they were, man, I'd always seen some of the samples I can from Ocean One.
Fruit to the loom.
We were getting the samples from them though. Like.
So basically, like the whole brand now, everything comes from Europe, or everything's either. So we get blanks from Portugal now, and they're made by myself, or the hats I get, and then they're made by.
So the blanks are the t-shirts and the hoodies and.
Yeah, exactly. So I get the blanks from the UK or in Portugal. And then the hats are gotten, and then they're made by Lantala, whereas I do tops and stuff myself. But when I first started, it was China. So I had ordered these samples of hats, right, and they came, and there was like, fuck, these are actually sick, man. You know what I mean? So I got 2 hats, one for me and Jordan. We were wearing them everywhere, and people were like, "Oh, what's this? What hat are you wearing?" And it's my brand. They're like,
I say that was a mad feeling.
that. You know what the best thing was, man, is like. See, like you have some mates that would be a bit like, what you doing, like.
Yeah.
Whereas I had Jordan, man, and that's my like we would do anything with Jordan. And that's the one way I have that. Like I would do anything for him, he'd do anything for me, right? And I never forget, we went out one night in Drogheda, and he was just chatting to these lads, and he had a hat on, right? And I got kind of overhear what he was saying. Obviously, he was hammered, like overhear what he was hearing, right? And I said to him, like, there was no jealousy in it, man, because he was like being like, this is his brand. It's his brand. He's like, telling everyone, like, this is his brand. Like, he got out there, everyone's like,
that's a good lad.
That is love,
that's a good
man.
mate,
Out of love, man. So then I got.
You need them people in the corner.
Exactly, man. Like, and he like, just like it was sick, man, to see that as well. So we kind of got a full order of hats then that came in, and then just set up the brand then, and then like, it's kind of grown from there. Never like, man, they kind of fell in the door of the rap scene, which is a big part of it now. The Irish rap scene for Ocean One now is just huge, man. Like, because basically, obviously you don't know I'm from Drogheda. I'm not originally from Drogheda, but my mum moved out there when I was younger. I went to school in Ashburn. My dad lives in Ashburn, and my mum lives in Drogheda. I live with her all the time now. Man,
Ashburn and Drogheda close, like Maiden now.
yeah, it's not too far, man. It's about a 40-minute bus.
Yeah.
Not too bad. Like, but I live with my mum once I finished.
Takes me longer to get to town.
Yeah. But my mum for me with Ocean One was she's just the best, man. Like.
So important to have that support behind you, because do you know, you're nearly fighting 2 battles. Obviously, 1 winning people over, and then 2 if you have someone kind of going, oh, now is that going to work? Or is that? But whereas if you have the support network behind you,
bro.
Yeah, it's like you were saying earlier about your mom. Like you're saying, oh, obviously she wanted to get you a job. She wanted that for you, but now she's giving you a boat. She's giving you the support behind the brand. She is still saying to you, you need to be level-headed about it. Do this work and do that work to get there. Yeah,
man, like my mom, like is the main reason I'm kind of doing this kind of stuff. Like,
what's her name?
Go
away.
I was only going to share with
my mom, like,
we'll be giving us
like the honestly, like it's hard when you're at home by yourself all day. Right? If I want to wake up tomorrow and not do work, I don't have to do work.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I'm waking up and I'm doing it for kind of me, right? But the main reason I'm doing it is for my mom. Like, she's insane. I actually never said this to anyone before. Only my close mates know this, right? But basically, my mom, my auntie, and now me, we passed on generation having eye disease called retinal pigmentosis, right? So I'm going to be probably blind, but I'm in late 50s and 60s, right? No one actually knows this, yeah. So I have this thing, right? So that's one of the main reasons I've always tried to do something special, or something, not special, but something extra, like so YouTube, Ocean One, trying to build my own thing, because I kind of have, not just there's a timer set on it, like, I kind of limit the time, right? Yeah. So my mom's going through that now, right? My mom gets up at 6 o'clock in the morning to go to work, right? Gets home at 7. It's dark all day for my mum. I goes to work in the dark, comes back in the dark, right? She's very bad eyesight in the dark because of your eye disease, right? So she like gets job offers and stuff, and like she can't drive in the dark. So she gets job offers that are really good, but like she can't go to them because she can't drive in the dark. So my whole thing now is what Ocean One is. I want to be able to 2 years, 3 years time be like, ma, you're not going to work. I want to be able to
you're after knocking me for about 10 days.
No, that's my mum doesn't know this, probably watching this now, like, but I hear the door tells me she's going to work in the morning, right? And I go up and I'm like, bollocks, I'm tired and all, but I have to. That's the main.
That's the motivation.
See, people use that as a negative, but I use that as like a thing now, right? I have not a limited time, but I have like, I want to make this now. I want to make something first. So like, my ma can just fucking sit back, take a handy fold of 2 t-shirts, you know, maybe for me, like, you know,
Yeah, give her a job,
pay her
yeah.
away, like,
Ah man, that's unbelievable.
Look, I'm not even gonna just touching on it there. Ocean One Official, you'll see the name. We'll put up a story about it. Give him a follow and look. Have a look at the clothes. It's quality stuff.
And it's not just saying it because he's here, but like it is, and like you have to support your own. Like he's one of our own.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's sourcing it in Ireland. He's working with a lad from Tala. He's working with people in Europe. It's not like he's going off and buying cheap stuff and just selling it as quick as he can to get.
Yeah, and that was the big thing as well. That I kind of, as I said, with the rap scene, I kind of fell into that thing, man. Like when I set up the brand, I actually just jumped into it. Right, there was no real, you know, business plan behind it.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, I have a brand now. Like shit. Like,
this is what I love about you, man. That you're spontaneous. You just put yourself out there.
Yeah,
That's a great quality to have.
Yeah, and I remember like at my kitchen table. This is during lockdown, so you couldn't go out, right? So George used to come over with his girlfriend, right? And then we obviously third wheel on the fucking table, right? And we were hammered, man, absolutely fucking hammered, right? But I don't know if you know Cianan and Officer are watching this, but they be like, Officer is the biggest Irish rapper, right? Millions of views on his videos. I actually remember, right? I don't know if you have one yourself, but you know if you're going to work, you listen to your earphones.
Yeah.
You have your last song in before you go in.
Yeah.
You put a really good one on before you go in, right? I remember.
What's yours before you keep that thought? What's yours?
I've got a weird array of things. If it's so, sorry, I'm not going to take over this.
Yeah, keep that
but I have a few. So if it's a day that Celtic are playing, I live it.
Right.
There's a song called "Live It Up." It's a piss take out of the Rangers fans. They sing it, but like when it's going bad for them. Hey there, you with a sad face, come the fuck off, you cunt.
I'll give you a few bars, no matter.
Right, so there's that. Can't believe after singing all that. But we have that. And then, what was I listening? See, I've actually been listening to audiobooks lately. Listening to Roy Keane's audiobook.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I nearly broke my headphones there today, I'll tell you about that now after. But what would be another song that I love?
I already know Roy Keane was giving out about Celtic, that's why he wrote the headphones.
No, I'll tell you, I was walking down, so I've got these, like, you know, the wireless wraparound headphones.
Yeah.
Walking down, there's bushes sticking out, but obviously I've got a massive head, so I kind of have to extend them. Do you know, so that they fit around my hair. So, and I was walking there, just listening to some gobshite talking about, because the book, it's the second book, and it's some lad talking. It starts off with Roy Keane talking, actual Roy Keane, and I was like, this is brilliant. And then this other lad comes on. I'm not going to do his accent because it'll do a disservice to not only Roy Keane but the whole country, because it's the worst accent I've ever heard in my life. And your man's there talking.
Yours?
Yeah, it's like a weird Cork accent. It is. It was horrible. Oh, you got mine a Cork accent, but this one's horrible. And I'm walking there. The next thing, the earphones just whipped off me, thing straight onto the ground. And I just, it was like I could see me light flashing before me.
Slow motion.
And there's just see this car. And your man just swears. I was like, oh my god, I hope he has the best.
He's after killing my family just to say
All the school kids are knocked out like fucking bowling. These earphones are alright. Roy Keane back on, like fuck the kids over there.
There's a big massacre across the road. My earphones are sound. There's bleeding halo showing down. But yeah. Sorry, I think I got well off.
Yeah, what's your song?
Me song. Me song. Me song is. Fucking hell, what happened? Oh. Do you know what? This is gonna sound weird. Do you know what song I love? Si Senor.
Si, senor, give the ball to Bobby and he will score.
So that's probably my song. So, sorry, go back on to what you're saying.
No, not at all, man. That's fucking.
Sorry, you keep taking me off here.
Yeah, so a bit of a learning curve there. We recorded for a full hour and the camera cut off after 29 minutes. We were getting into it, but we'll go again.
It's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. That's just the alcoholism in me. I just said we needed another drink.
Yeah, might for a piss break as well. Oh, fuck, man.
So what we were talking about there was the way that you set up the brand, and the reason being was obviously what was the
song, like, so.
No, what was the eye thing called?
You,
your mum and your auntie have it.
It's called retinal pigmentosis.
Yeah, so the retinal pigmentosis, you were saying what you want to do is you want to retire your auntie and your mum, hopefully, or give them a job, and that's your main motivation for it, which is fucking admirable. Like, and what we were saying then after that then is how the A9 tooling came about, and who A92 are.
So basically, A92, as you know, A92 is draw this. That's the air code of draw it. And like growing up, you all said this before or whatever, but like growing up, like I always see myself as Ashburn, like or Dublin. My ma's from Dublin. I went to school in Ashburn and stuff, and I'd be getting a bus back to draw that. I'd be early like, oh, fucking getting this back to draw. Do you know what I mean? All my mates be like, oh, out in fucking out in the middle of nowhere, out in Drogheda. Like, Drogheda's the biggest town in Ireland, like, and you know, now I have all my mates in Drogheda. I love Drogheda. I actually would say now I am from Drogheda. Like, I take A92 was like that's me now. Yeah, but Drogheda's a big place, man. It's a lot like. It's a good night scene, man. You definitely come out there, but
we'll definitely get
Yeah, we have to go there, yeah.
100%, man. No, it's sick, but
the Barstool Boys night out in Johnny.
the Christmas party.
Who do you reckon gets stabbed first?
You. 100%.
It's a short event.
I remember listening to Officer, like, and I just loved his music, man. And I knew he was Irish. It was always a thing. Like, I used to listen to UK music a lot, right? Like rap. And then it was like, oh, it was Irish people. I was like, you know, I keep listening to more Irish people, like, and I listened to Officer a lot. Didn't even know where he was from, or anything, like, and then it turned out it was from. He mentioned A92 on one of the songs, and I was like, that's my fucking air code.
Yeah.
So my man, she was like, oh, you can draw that's crazy, or whatever, right? So I listened to him for ages, going to work, and my song before work was Opposite Au Poor, right? And then it was only at the concert when I was standing there with all my stalls over there with all my own stuff. I actually was running merch for A92 at it, right? So how actually that came about.
Where was that?
It's in the academy,
Oh,
right?
the academy, yeah.
So actually, first of all, I'll get into how it happened, right? So how it happened first was
Lockdown nights.
yeah, lockdown nights, right? My mate Jordan and his girlfriend, and they were fluter, man.
Tricycle.
Captain Morgan, like just
Oh,
down and down.
I've had
Orange.
some.
No, man.
What you have with ginger ale?
No, we started off having it with like a mixture of Coke, yeah.
Nah,
And then it
well, it has
just-
to be orange, man.
No, but then the Coke go and drink it straight, like it was just hot, not good, right? Sore heads, right? But yeah, so I'm there, and like, you know what, man? I know who the manager now is of A92, like, and of some, not all of them, but a few of the A92 lads. And I was like, I might email him tomorrow and like see what he said about wearing the hats or whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. And then his girlfriend was like, well, you'll do it now. And I was like, no, I'm not doing it now. And like, she's like, you'll do it now. And I was like, fuck it, right.
You won't do it tomorrow. You
Yeah, I'll do it now. So I'm there typing letters in that I can't even see, right?
F subs like
Gave it to
that.
her, and she wasn't drinking that much, and she was like, oh, fuck, I had to read what he got stuff out, right? Sent it anyways. Next morning I wake
He has
up.
on PO.
Literally, man, I wake up the next morning, the head's banging, I look up and I see like basically an email back saying, yeah, that sounds good, whatever. And I'm like, what do you mean sounds good? Like, I looked and I was like, oh shit, like that's Sappho, like after email Sappho. So
Hang over out the window.
gone, man. I had to get my man to drive me down one time. I met his dad twice. I actually remember calling the phone. Sappho is huge, man. He's a big fucker. His older brother's even bigger than him, but he's a big fucker, right? Call the phone and he answered the phone and the voice is like so deep, man.
Deep,
right?
yeah.
Like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm scared now, man. You're like,
Why go down there?
yeah, literally, man. So,
You answer it.
oh, shit. And you know what, like Drogheda's really, really big, right? So like I'm on the kind of south side of Drogheda, and then there's more into Drogheda, right? They live in their studios in a space called Ashton Village, right? And you can't walk it, like you have to get a bus. So one time I walked down there 2.5 hours back, where I should have cut the base man's blood all over me socks.
Feet bleed.
New
I'm
shows
like,
is always the way, innit?
literally, I'm walking right. I'm like, this is for Ocean One. It's gonna keep
That's
walking.
a Jesus Christ story, isn't it?
Moses, 40 days and 40 nights, yeah.
Fucking hell, man. Anyways, given the stuff, given the hats and all, and they obviously got the 40 million streams on the things. I don't know if that's gold or platinum, whatever it is. Anyways, took a picture of it with the hat. The video of the hat, and I have it on the Ocean One.
The record, was it? The gold
Yeah,
record,
I have it on the Ocean One Instagram and like the highlights, the stories, and I was like, that's fucking crazy, whatever. And then about 2 weeks later, I kind of forgot about it. Kebs puts up his, I think it's called a one shot or one mic or something like that. It's on Grime Daily, right?
Is that like in when BBC do the live lounge?
Yeah, it's quite like that.
Daily Duppy.
Yeah, it's like a Daily Duppy kind of like it's on the same. It's on Grime Daily, so is Daily Duppy. It's just called a one mic.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the lower version, but Offset has
He has a Daily Duppy, does he?
doesn't have a Daily Duppy yet, but he has a Charlie Slot.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, yeah, with Charlie
No
Slot.
way.
Like, yeah, so Kebs is wearing it in his one mic, and I was like, oh, this is fucking crazy. Send it to all my mates and all, right?
Hey, you vodka.
And actually, I actually said this wrong, right, when I said it was the last time. So I was in bed and I got sent Officer's story. That's how it happened. Officer's story of one of the lads I used to work with and work, and he's like, man, he's wearing a fucking Ocean One hat, right? I was watching the story, I was like, holy shit, he's in a helicopter wearing the hat, and I was like, what the fuck, whatever, right? So then, like, I kind of like, that video kind of came out, whatever, right? And like, Kebs is sick. all I know to that's a sick, right? Like the unreal, man. They're gonna blow up even more as time comes on. Like,
Yeah.
Officer was always the kind of he's the biggest lad in Northern. Like he's sick.
Like inside and side, man.
Yeah, exactly. But like Officer has paved the way through for so many people now to come through. He's gonna be
The Conor McGregor of Irish rap.
Exactly. He's gonna be known now in the future as the one who kind of paved the way. He's gone to the UK, all that kind of stuff, sold out shows and all.
I thought he was from London when do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's also like the art, to be fair, but like I got told, oh, he likes your hats, like by one of the lads, and I was kind of like, oh, yeah, like, does he?
Does he like them? Yeah, he's getting them right.
Yeah, it's just long, like he's just
put a new video up. That video now is a new song has 2.5 million views. Watched it, seen the Ocean One hat, and I was like, what the fuck? Went to scroll back in, like you only double tap the screen.
Yeah.
Seen it was in more, but like kept watching it. Showed my mum, and I was like, what the fuck? That's crazy. Got to the point now where you're in that many videos that show my mum, and I was like, I don't really care. My mum's not the fan of
I
it.
got played washing down with you.
Would that be like if you showed me? Because I'd be just like, oh yeah, he's no Marcus Feely, like he's no Westlake, but it is a mad link, like brilliant.
Well, I'd be in the car with my mum, like putting music on, and she'd like kind of shout off.
Yeah.
Like, he wears Ocean One. She's like, oh, I love it. It's a great song. It kind of just fell into that thing, man. I fell into it so much now that like now I have rappers that like want to wear Ocean One in their videos. They're buying it and they want to wear it, and it's a big thing now. I went to the office show like in 892, man. The 892 lads are all from where I'm from. Like they're all from Drogheda, like, and they're selling out shows in the academy, like.
I say it's surreal though, seeing like your heroes essentially, like,
Yeah,
wearing your brand.
Look what you're saying. You listen to that song going to work, and then one day you're standing there, and that song is on, and you're selling your.
That's a link between you and him though. You know.
I never forget it because basically we have to go in there early. So I was running merch. Merch, they're real posh. Running merch for.
Didn't sound like from Drogheda there.
Running merch from the whole thing. Like so, basically, actually, how I got onto this right is I got an email off Sappho, right. Now I'd be getting like, say if obviously I were in a video, I'd be getting like the behind the scenes kind of videos and stuff like that, right. So I might screenshot them and put them up on the Instagram, whatever, that kind of stuff, right. So I got an email off Sappho, and the day before I had put up, I think it might have been Kebs of like behind the scenes of his video, and I put it up on the Ocean One thing, right. And I got an email off Sappho saying, call me ASAP. And I'm like, oh,
what we doing?
They might have meant mad at me putting up something that I shouldn't have put up, whatever, right. So I'm like, oh shit, like I better call him back, or I'll never forget him, man. Call him back in my room, and I remember I was just doing loads of work on actually this section that came out now. It's in all the work, man, and trying to find the stuff is really hard. Like, probably the hardest part is finding. I get samples that are just shit, man.
Yeah.
Trying to find really good ones, and I'm just stressed out. Then I get this message, I'm like, oh, what? This is the worst day ever. Like, folks, like, call him back. I call him on his number, and he's like, what's up, man? Yeah, the people that are meant to do the clothing just like pulled out, whatever. So do you want to have Ocean One at the academy? And I was like,
no way.
Right. So I'm like, wait, what? And he's like, told me all about it and all. And I'm here like trying not to fucking cry on the phone, right? I'm like,
I'll see what my calendar says.
This is what I need. This is the one thing I needed for that whole, right? So he's like, bring as much as you possibly can. And I'm like, how much? Like, what are we talking, like, kind of, right? And he's like about 800 units, like 800 pieces, right? Yeah, man. So I'm like, fuck, right? So I actually got off the phone, and as you said, the man from Tala, give him a call, right? And the best thing is that I love about this is, right,
you're giving him a shout out, like.
Yeah, M&O embroidery, like, sick on, like, Mark. Like, probably, like, one of the main reasons that we've gotten to the point we have already, like, so quick, like, is him, man. And you know, the thing was, when you can get it cheaper by dealing with people from Turkey or China or whatever, right? You can't go look at stuff, you can't get, like, 6 of this, 7 of that.
Yeah.
You can't, like, you don't have a connection with someone, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, man.
But then you don't feel like you've built a brand, you feel like you're just drop shipping.
Bro, 100%. And the thing about I love doing about this is, right, is like, as I said, like with my man, so there's bringing them up with me, right? It's also bringing up other Irish companies with me as well. Like, I want to be able to, like, get him to get to the point where like, he is going up with me, like, do you know what I mean? So I gave him a call, and I was like, man, good news. And he's like, what? And I was like, I need to get like 800 pieces ready for the end of this month. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah. Right. And he literally goes, are you home now? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, right, I have to spin over now. So yeah, that day, you have to drive over, right? You have to put all the other projects to the side to get all this done in time. So he was working day and night all the time. Like, the videos I have are gas of him, right, working.
Stress.
Oh man, like, comes back to me after like 7, 8 big boxes, man, big boxes of clothes, like, and I had to get them into the academy as well. So I had to get my uncle to drive in with these big boxes, man. Like, it was surreal. It was all happening so fast. And I'm stressed out trying to get stuff ready and all that kind of stuff. Like, and it was only there, like, I'll never forget, like, because we couldn't see basically when I went in, I thought I was going to have to stand at the thing, but I had people working for me.
Yeah.
So Sappho goes like, just go enjoy your night.
So they organise those people to work for you.
Yeah,
they
so
were
were
employed by the academy, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I had to give a bit of percentage to them to pay for
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, but it was grand, right? We got to go backstage, side stage, everything. I had like officer come up to me and he was like talking to me, and I was he kind of like knew I was who I was before. Like I basically my whole thing was right. I was like, don't go in there being like, oh, you're opposite. Like,
Oh my god, hi,
do you know what I
officer.
mean? I went there.
Like I would be if I saw
Sounds
Wesley.
hard, though, is it?
Yeah,
Sounds
well, I
hard.
went there thinking like, yeah, so, do you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah,
he comes up to me and he's like, oh, what's an Ocean One?
Yeah,
So I was
Ocean
like,
One, yeah.
alright.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like, and then
There you go.
Salo is going to be one of the biggest Irish rappers now as well, and he's one of the nicest guys I'll ever meet, ever. Like, he's just so down to earth. He's in the cover of, I think it was the Irish Times.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, he's blowing up now. This is going to be his year for that, right? But I DM'd him and he was only had 1 or 2 songs out. And we had a thing from that, and now we text on Instagram and stuff like that. He's so sound, man. And it was at that, basically, I was talking to him. I knew it was him, but I didn't really put any past out, so I was talking to so many people. Right?
Yeah.
We basically have to go to there first for the, like, we have to kind of set up first before people came in or whatever. So we were there like 2 or 3 hours early. They were all rehearsing and stuff like that. So like, it was mad. Like, so we're there with like, first feller over there, Stello's here, Smiles, everyone's all around, like, right? Actually, the only 2 white guys there. Like, we're the white guy there, man, which is fucking gas. But so we're trying to like not be the 2 white guys at the team.
Yeah.
I'm talking to everyone like, like literally, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, not be just the 2 stand out. Like, we are white. Like,
Yeah.
we don't know what's going on.
Yeah,
there.
we don't even know this music.
Yeah.
That'd be me and him at it though, that would like.
Yeah.
I'd have an earphone in this in the world of our own.
Yeah.
Walking around with Celtic jersey.
Yeah.
But I'm talking to Stello, right? And I had my hat on. And I'm talking for ages, right? And we just got along like it was grand.
Yeah.
And he goes, wait. And I was like, what? And he goes, you're Ocean One. And I was like, yeah, well, my name actually Keenan. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like, bro, we've been talking to you for so long. He started thinking, I got a photo in the hat, whatever, man. And like, they don't even know that getting that photo in the hat just boosts up Ocean One so much, man. And like, it was like, he's just bang on, man. After, like, I actually had to send him the clips. Of him performing, right? But my mate is singing in the background of the thing, like, so like it's just there's actually a bit where he's actually on his Instagram where it swivels to me the camera, and I'm like doing this in my head like, oh, this is so embarrassing, man. But
Okay, I own it.
man, literally, and that's the thing, like, it's like for an hour we're only a small brand, like they're kind of helping us out, but I want to get to a point where like you see Trapstar and all that in the UK, like, they're helping rappers out themselves, like, so I want to be able to do that. Yeah, so like,
You will though, and that's the thing, like, about yourself, like we were saying off camera. Like, I understand why people will like go, right, what can you do for me and all like that, but like you're that kind of, like, as soon as we said, oh, we're doing a podcast, you were straight onto us, like, you know, like, you're like, yeah, I'd love that. Didn't answer, didn't ask questions, like, I think, how can I do?
wasn't very
So like, and that's what, like, Jesus, obviously down the road, obviously we can help each other. Can't get the words out, but like,
We're all holding hands.
but at the same time, me and Aidan are cut from the same cloth. We do the same for anyone else if we got to that level.
yeah.
Not later, yeah.
I wouldn't help anyone.
No, but that's all I want, man. That's all I want, is to be able to get in a position to help the people that I grew up with. You know what I mean? Like, oh jeez, man, that thing again.
And don't feel it to the top this time.
Right.
Do you know what? This is a celebration of the fact that we have lost a little bit of content, and we're just
Making up
going,
for it,
like,
man.
we're nearly asking this bloke to be a tour podcast host, for God's sake. Like, do you know what I mean?
I'm sure, alright, we'll do half, so we.
Yeah. Quarters, if that's alright. Oh god. I'm gonna go home and get hiding off the missus.
Oh, you'll be in the doghouse, wouldn't
You
it?
didn't even tell me you were drinking.
So, but
It's in a bar.
Yeah, we had a tall bar still, boys.
Cheers, boys.
appreciate
Cheers.
it, boys. Thanks for having me on.
Cheers for coming on, bro.
I love that stuff.
No, so it's too easy to drink that.
Yeah, you get, and if I just give you a
I'm
shot.
gonna be on the bus like that in a while.
Yeah. I'm used to drinking like tequila and all, man.
Yeah.
It's just too easy. I'll go
Yeah.
down too easy. Like,
Yeah, so like the way you're building the brand is like you have this idea. Like, I know from following you that you have this streetwear. It's kind of style to you, right? And it's like it's funny because it's what I think I look like, right? But I look like a pudding poured into a shirt. I'm holding this out because I don't look too fat. But like that's like, and that's the way it goes. Like when I look at other brands, like I follow a few brands like Represent,
represented
wow,
sick, man.
sick.
Actually,
And when I look at
George Cianan,
yeah,
do you follow him? Do you?
yeah.
He's insane, man.
Man,
I look up
he-
to him a lot. He's one of the main reasons why I kept going.
And he is brilliant. And the thing about brands like Represent, look, they're not cheap, but they're the type of brand that have went out like yourself and have sourced the stuff to be perfect, to be what they want to be. I watched a few podcasts with him talking about on it.
Exactly,
I
man.
feel like I'm sitting here with a young George Eaton. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's what I
It's
want
mental.
someone to be. Like,
Mental.
I want again as
You want to have your own identity. Like,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
I want you to wear it with pride.
You don't want to
Listen
be
to the
fast
interview.
fashion.
I was listening to the chat with Christy Dignam, and he was saying he was saying that you'd be listening to these songs in the radio, so it'd be like artists from America, England, and then you'd know straight away it was the Irish that were coming on.
Yeah.
And then that's what their kind of thing behind Aslan was. They wanted to have their own kind of like identity. That's it's not like here's just another Irish.
I remember watching a thing.
But that's what you're trying to do.
I remember watching a thing with him, and he was saying he used to. They were going to America, and they were going to England. They were playing these dives, like, but it wasn't for like recognition or anything. It was they did want to obviously get out there, but they wanted to play gigs. They had to earn a living. Do you know what I mean? And like, it's mad. Like, and in saying that, right nowadays you have a different genre to do that, or a different route to do that. In Instagram, you have TikTok, you have Twitter, you have Facebook, and you've got links with other companies. You've got brand deals, you've got all that, and it's such an inspirational thing to see someone to actually utilise that.
Yeah.
You see people, and people utilise it in different ways, and you can see some people who put up mad stuff, like myself, put up mad stuff, videos of me talking absolute drivel, right? Locked videos of me singing with my uncle, do you know what I mean? Singing the ballads, and it's gas, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Whereas this fella decided, I know what I'm doing, I've done the YouTube scene, I've done all this, let me put it all into one and I'll bring it to something new, and it's great.
But you know what the mad thing is, because obviously you're a growing brand, and like you're still growing, like, you know what I mean, you're still kind of like at the start of your journey, but like there's probably people that will watch this and kind of go, just another aspiring, you know, CEO of Cloudman, but it's only until you get to that point, and then people will kind of look back and go, "Jeez, remember he was on that?" You know?
Yeah.
But that's the journey, isn't it?
That's what they always say about people like artists and stuff. They don't remember you till you're dead or you've made it.
Yeah.
See the Ocean one, it's weird, like, cause like I have this passion for it, man. That like I was in the fitness thing for ages, like, and it was kind of like,
you became monotonous towards the end.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I had to do this for this, but now it's like I put money into it. I actually forget I put money into that. Do you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't even realize. Oh shit! I could spend it on flexing with a fucking
Rolex, Montclair.
When I get a sale from Ocean One, I get a little ching noise on my phone, right?
That's sick. That's unreal.
And I go, that was great.
We might try and get that for views.
I'm like, that's great, right? But there's nothing better, man, right? And when I used to scroll through my Instagram stories, I'm like someone's wearing an Ocean One hat on my stories.
Man.
I get a little, I get more of a buzz off that than I do off getting the sale. Do you know what I mean? And that's when, you know, like, that's actually only happened like there last week. It happened a few times where I've actually been like, I get more of a buzz off seeing someone wearing it in a video or seeing someone wearing it on their story or
Have you ever been out in town or out and about and seen someone in one and thought, what the
I actually haven't, but I have had mates that have texted me and they've been like, I'm just like, and it's been in places where like
that'll be a surreal feeling. That'll be when you're just walking down your like wherever it is.
Walking down Grafton Street.
Grafton. And you'll see someone wearing your clothing, and that'll be like one of them moments. Maybe you're saying doing the YouTube, you aren't getting the kind of validation. That'll be a moment of validation.
Do you know what that'll be a moment like? Dana, 60 G's, baby!
That's the thing, man. Like, I actually kind of forget about like the milestones that you kind of hit. Like, I'm always so like I know where I want to be with it. I know where I want to be with it. I'm like, that's not enough. But then I kind of like at the two thing where I kind of go, oh shit, like
you have to learn to take these kind of like
celebrate.
You have to learn to step back from it and go, oh shit, look what I'm doing. Yeah, like I know, like, geez, I'm telling you this as a like you're the CEO of the company, but you need, like, that's what you're gonna need to do, like, to kind of just so that you can kind of engulf the joy of it, because
like,
and that probably feels like yesterday that you started.
But that's the thing that you forget as well, because I remember buying one of the hats and I feel like that was, so every day is just another day now with the lockdown and stuff, but I remember buying one of the hats and I felt like that was 2 years ago. And then I remember looking at my Instagram messages before he came on, and I was like, that wasn't even that long ago. That was the first drop. That was the first drop.
And I started in March with the hats because they were unisex thing, like, and then I had, like, that's the thing, man. I'm starting out with a brand, like, it's so like, if I had like a dad or something, right, that had like a few million, goes, right, here's 2 million. I do have a dad, but he's just
I know
soft. But if, like, now you know what? Actually, my dad, like, I've kind of talked to him a bit more recently now because he has kids now with his wife.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. So I have a little brother and sister now, man. So like, I actually get along with my dad now than like I ever did before. Like, but like.
Touch the nerve, sorry.
No, not at all, man. No. Actually, I think you should say that on the thing as well. I'm all about my mom. This like. I talk about that like a lot now, but I know what my mom's done for me. My mom's done stuff for me that like, you know, when you're a kid you don't notice.
Yeah, but now when you think about it, when you're older, you're going.
But is it just me? You know, obviously, look, my situation is a little bit different.
Sean comes from a 2-parent home. He lives in Dunleary. I live in Tallaght. I have no dad. Yeah. Rub it in.
Is it just me, or
Yes, a bar.
is it naturally that lads and mothers? They always kind of have that, but like then at the same time, me and my old lad would have a different kind of relationship that me and my mum would have.
Me and my old lad would have a very different relationship to me and my man.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah,
see, when I was growing up,
man,
man, like the last few years, right? It's so weird. I have a dysfunctional family as fuck, right? But when I was like,
everyone has their issues.
My granddad moved in with my mom when I was in 2nd or 3rd year in school. So my granddad was my dad.
Yeah.
Like,
same with my granddad.
Yeah, so that's how close we were. Like then he died then a few years ago. Or 2 years ago, I think it was. So like, no, that's why. Yeah, like sorry, I'm missing the bits. Like, but his like when he died, he left me and my mum money. So instead of going out and passing that money, I bought my Mac with it. That's how I have Mac. So I wanted to think like, how do I put this into something good?
Yeah, how can you?
His old room in my house is now. We live in a small house, like in Drogheda. Like, his old room in my house is now the stock room or the room where you do all the Ocean One stuff.
So like, when you think of it, right? Like your granddad gave you such a boost in getting your Mac, in getting obviously a stock room, and that'll always live on in it.
Well,
so that's a memory for him as well. So this brand has grown from strength to strength by thinking about the memories, man.
Well, yeah, but like as well, like and I think that's so important as well, kind of to have like the
story.
No, but like even like you're saying, like your granddad came in and like was like your father figure.
Yeah.
So, like you can see it. Like I know this sounds like bad say, but you could sometimes, and I know it's hard for like single parent mothers when you look at their kids, they don't have a lot of respect. Some of them, and I know probably kind of treading on it back, but they don't have like some of them kind of they don't have the respect. But like even as soon as you came in today, like polite sound,
but you know what
I mean? You can see it grown up with morals.
They can go out and go down the wrong paths. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it can happen. It can happen to anyone, and it's obviously an unfortunate situation.
And that's the thing, man. Like I actually never really talked about this, but I was going on a really bad path, man, when I was younger. Like really bad path, man, because like since I was 10, like
you made yourself locked up here.
No, not at all, man. My nanny, my nanny used to clean the school, right? When I went to primary school, right? So I used to stay with my nana, and my mum used to live there. My mum did the brother down when I was 9 or 10, right? But for the point before that, I used to come home to nanny's house. She walk up to the school, clean the school. So I've been alone after school since I was 10. Right, so I grew up with that thing. Then when I was in secondary school with my ma, like I'd be leaving school and I would have to take the bus home. My ma didn't finish work; she wouldn't be home. Like so, like I had like this whole thing where it's like I have grown up, not protecting myself, but I've kind of grown myself up since I was younger. Right, so I had this whole thing was when I was 13 or 14, with the mental age of like
sometimes you have to grow up a little bit faster.
So I always went on a bad path, man. And then like the actual thing that like, saved me was the gym. Because when I was going to the gym, none of my friends wanted to go to the gym. And I was going to the gym, right, and one of my best friends in school, Keenan, wasn't one of the like the...
remember that?
Yeah, he's a fucking gas cut, man.
You still friends with him?
Yeah,
he's a funny
to this day, man, I love him to bits, like, because like, he wasn't one of the lads in school, do you know what I mean? But I kind of met him going through the gym. And I met a lot of my friends going through the gym. And I actually have no real friends that I haven't trained in the gym, like...
Except for us two, you haven't trained with us yet.
Yeah,
that's down the line.
That's the thing.
I
had this way of like getting away from that kind of stuff, like, and I kind of like that's probably the thing that saved me, man. The bits was I had like obviously back then it was YouTube. I wanted to make it on YouTube, so I'm putting the work in, and I'm making videos when they're all out doing other shit. Like that took me away from that, like, and it kind of got me a thing where it's like. Do I want to be stuck here for the rest of my life, or do I want to try and make something out of it?
Yeah, because it's so easy. It's so easy to go out and go. Well, I can make 1,000 quid quick and buy myself a nice watch, or that, or what I can grab and feel if you're hearing something, you know.
Yeah, well, it's all. It is like you said. It's all about investing back into it. Like you can settle on your laurels, and that you'll soon find that you'll run out very quickly, or you can keep doing it and investing. And
then the other side of that is like when you come from areas like like underprivileged areas, as they say, like, and where there's a lot of crime and a lot of stuff like that, you're inclined to think, oh, sure, everybody else is doing it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a trap that you fall into.
Yeah.
And I think that's a
People sell you the dream, and then next thing you know, you're too deep.
Yeah, man. You know what? That's a thing that I actually find sometimes when like say at the start of Ocean One, basically, right, I had, as I said about the getting a gear and all the millions, right? No worries, man. That's the millions, right? Like I couldn't get that from my dad or whatever, right? So like for me, I couldn't afford to get the next season because when I got the first hats, it was really hard to sell the like 200 followers.
Yeah,
So they weren't selling, right? So I was kind of sitting. Yeah, you actually did. I figured that a lot, bro. I was kind of sitting there thinking like, I'm not looking for an excuse, but a bit like, oh, single man at home.
Yeah.
Like fuck this shit. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's so easy to put a label on yourself.
Literally,
Like,
man. And then I started thinking like, you know, man, stop looking for fucking excuses and just
Get
go
up,
out and
you know,
make money and fucking get more. Like, and that's why.
Even like, I'm sorry to cut. Like, I know
No,
this
no,
is like
no.
a little, but like today we could have sobbed our eyes out because we lost a half an hour of footage, but we just said fuck it, we get
Yeah,
back on
that's-
it.
Yeah, you get better stuff. I thought
Yeah.
you did get better
Yeah.
stuff than you got before. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Exactly.
you definitely have it, and it's not even about getting better stuff. It's like it's more natural when like you speak about look, the way we're speaking now. It's like that's what it's all about here. It's like the conversation is flowing. He's spilling his heart out. Me and Sean are just like, oh my god.
See, I've actually
We've
never
seen-
this deep, but that's
we've-
that's
I
the
love
best
it, man. It's
We
the Guinness, man. I'm putting extra
Yeah.
something in the Guinness for
You know
you.
what? That's to the boys as well. The boys said don't drink Guinness in the podcast.
But we've seen it,
They
like-
the truth.
Like me and Sean, I'd have a
No,
perception.
we appreciate it all though.
I have a perception of you from seeing it on Instagram and all, and it's like it's not like completely different. It's not opposite sides of the coin, like, but I'm going into a level here and I'm going, Jesus Christ, this bloke is inspirational. Like,
Nah.
I'm not just saying that because you're here on the podcast. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm
No, we are fans
Reason
anyway.
that
We are fans anyway.
yeah.
But
Yeah, we're
but-
fanboys,
But
yeah.
secondly,
Yeah.
but secondly,
Wouldn't have got
it's
more
great to
boys.
see kind of like a lad like
so old are you?
like
21.
It's 21, man.
Yeah.
When I was 21, I was out causing mayhem.
I can't even tell you what I was doing.
He was selling tops and all that stuff in the academy. I was looking at the ceiling trying to find my jacket when I was in the academy. I was 21, boys. No way, I was like, unfortunately.
Actually, see the academy, right? It was gas.
Great
So
spot.
I went with Jack, right? I made Jack and fair play to Jack. Shout out to Jack as well. Like when I go to the shoots and stuff, where I go to the academy, right? Like I used to do the YouTube, so I can't be. I'm not
Walk around with a gimbal like that, yeah.
He is like to the point where he was recording, and I was like, "Oh, record this," and I was like, "Oh, she already fucking recording."
Yeah.
He's
He's
spot on,
on,
man.
yeah, he's on the
shoot,
ball.
everything like that, right? So we go to the academy, right, and we were there early, booked a hotel, right? Actually, ended up going out after, right? After the show,
To the
right?
academy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, actually into the green room and then out to he stuck into
The R&B block?
the VIP and what's it called? Oh, I can't remember.
Where is it? Where is it?
It's do you know
On Hardcore Street?
no, do you know where all I can't get the name of it right now, but it's like there's the rooms where there's like R&B and there's room that dance and
It's not D2, Dandelion. No, it's not.
no, but they used to have all the like Lucky and Yusuf and all used to do all the like get people in and stuff like that.
I'm brutal with him.
Yeah.
I know the place you're talking about. What is the name
I
of the
forget the
place?
name, but anyway, if
not opium, is it?
I'll put it up here if I
It's not
remember.
opium.
Someone put a comment in.
yeah, but anyways, right. What was I saying? Oh, we stuck in the VIP there after, right? Didn't get home to the hotel the next morning at 10:30, right?
Check out 11.
Bro, went up to your one. I was like, how late? Can I get a late checkout, right? And she's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, right, man, thanks. And she's like, you have to pay for that. And I was like, what? She goes, €10 an hour, right? And I'm like, right, it's half 10.
Much did I make, lads?
Yeah, I was like, just get 1 hour, please, right? Go up into the room, lie down. Jack's in his bed, I'm in my bed, right? Lights off. We're just staring at the ceiling, like, we're all lying there, and I'm like, can I go home? Yeah, February, man. Spend an extra tenner on the late checkout, man. Didn't even use it, like,
Yeah.
I went home.
So you're staring at the ceiling, yeah?
Yeah, man, staring at the ceiling, right? And, bro, checked out, went to draw to, like, fucking €10 going down the drain, man, right? Went to the academy. Spent about 10-15 minutes thinking about what they were going to get, right? So me and Jack were like, we get this, what we get? We go straight into the points, or will we go, like...
Well, points in a nightclub is never a good thing, so.
Yeah, exactly, right? So we go up to the thing, like, right, 2 vodka cokes. Your man's called no. We're like, what do you mean no? Like, he's like, yeah, this is an under 18s event, there's no drink.
Oh, boys.
So we're like, we have another fucking hours of being sober, right? So we're like, fuck. So like, our whole thing was like, we're like, we'll be going and get some of the lads, the rappers in the backstage or whatever. We kept going on backstage, we got smiles and photos, all of them. And all fairness to them, and they're all fucking bang on. Like, they threw a hat on.
Genuine lads, yeah.
Sound as fuck. I'm like, I'm not gonna be cheeky to ask you for a bit of your drink. That's a bit scabby, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when you're standing there fucking close at the thing, like.
Do you hint that at all?
Parching. Love it. I don't drink water. I love alcohol.
Bro, went through a full thing of extra chewing gums. We kept on just using chewing gums as a fucking drink, man. And all the bottles of water for the artists on the stage, he kept us taking them and then after, right, we had to get the total counted up for the night, basically, of the sales, right? So we got into the green room. And by the way, the whole night the bouncer kept kind of like trying to kick people out, right? He tried to kick one of the lads. One lad's tried to come backstage, and he's like, "Where's your sticker?" And he's like, "Man, I'm on stage now in about 10 minutes," and he wouldn't let him go through. Best thing was I was there on the sticker, and I was like, "Sorry, what you don't let him through, right?" Because about 10 minutes before he wouldn't let me backstage, and I was like, "Sorry, I'm running the fucking right through the place," and he's like, "I don't care, you're not." This is the first day back, so after lockdown.
Just like a power trip, like.
Yeah, so I looked up and I was like, "All right, wait." And they got your man that basically runs the academy to come down, and he basically said to the bouncer, wherever he wants to go, you let him go. Like, so I was like, right, so like this rapper was coming
You
through.
were on a power trip.
Literally, I wouldn't even use that, but this rapper was coming through and he's on stage in like 10 minutes. Bouncer wouldn't let him go through to the backstage.
Last thing he needs is to be getting told he can't
literally, so
You're ready,
literally, man.
It's like your outlook coming out saying, out.
Literally.
You'd be like, what?
10 more minutes that.
Please.
Man, so me and Jack were looking at the bouncer and we were like, sorry, let him through. And he's like, yeah, let him through. And we were like, oh, that is fucking great. Like, but yeah, it was just, man, that whole night in general was just mad. Went out after, celebrated a bit too hard and all after that. But
Fuck, it was
that was
man.
one of the best nights. I mean,
In terms of like the Ocean One brand, do you think that's so far your peak, and where do you think you can take it from there? Like, would that be your peak at the moment?
You know what?
That'd be the highlight, I'd say, yeah.
It'd be the highlight, but there's
Not peak, but
there's probably the peak is selling the first few things. Do you know what I mean? That's the peak.
True.
That's the best thing we've ever done in the whole thing. We might be going. There's actually a few UK artists. I'm not going to say their name.
No, of course.
After. Yeah, very big ones. They've got a song with 60 million views on I think, and I reached out to me for the clothes, right?
Oh, yes.
Our prints got stuck at customs, as I told you before.
Is this the thing where you had up a few days?
Yes, that's what. Yeah, well, actually, yeah.
I want to ask you about that.
The prints are stuck, so they're coming from the UK, and the UK now is crazy with like getting stuff over it. So yeah, so I only
pain in the ass more so than that, isn't it?
Yeah, the bottoms I'm wearing aren't printed. The top is like, so I don't have the smaller prints, so I can't get them sent over yet.
Yeah, because I was wondering, because it's a matching tracksuit with the obviously no.
So the print will be on the shin,
Yeah.
so they'll match them. But we missed out on a few things because of that, but like I think we'll get them back as well. But yeah, for the brand 2022, man, in general, like I have so many big plans. One of the main things I want to do is still support the rap scene.
Yeah.
There's so many hate comments on TikTok right now, and they're like, "Oh, Irish rappers." Actually, one lad commented saying, like, basically Irish rappers laughing face, right? But spelled the rappers with one P. Right? So,
what are you even saying this actually? Yeah.
Fair play to you, man. You fuck yourself up there, like, do you know what I mean?
Think is
God's right, man. Irish rappers, like, do you know what I mean? But man, like, that's the thing is, like,
that's what up against though, isn't it? Lads, they can't even spell.
You can't spell rapper.
Yeah, man, but like people like these lads there have like millions and millions of views, millions of streams, selling out shows, doing more than that probably lads ever done in his life.
But
and that's
what I said to you.
But you know what the thing about that is,
Yes.
and going back, the lad that sent that comment is probably going to work in whether it's a 9 to 5 or whether it's, you know, unsociable hours, shift work, whatever it is, and he probably hates his job.
And I get that, man.
And he's
I get that, man.
and I heard a clever thing. People's comments in that is just a reflection of themselves.
Yeah, it's never a reflection of what you were doing.
And that's the thing, man. I take that so much because I'm like, you know what, man. Like, I probably would be that way myself.
Yeah.
And the thing
Oh,
is,
we've all been there.
I've got hate
Never
comments.
let hate comments, but we've all been there.
Ah,
I've
yeah,
got
yeah,
hate
100%.
comments and then comment them back, and the person's been like, no, actually, like the brand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've gotten that stuff, and
That's
like,
satisfying.
I'm like, you know what, man, I've turned you around a bit, but like,
They're probably just looking for a response off you anyway.
yeah, like that's the thing about hate comments, man. But next year on, I have such big plans. I want to continue it. I want to grow. So basically, I want to be getting more rappers that are even bigger and bigger and bigger to wear stuff like.
Yeah.
I want to still keep that grounded thing of growing up the Irish people. The rappers that are buying the stuff now that like.
You don't want to forget them. You don't want to forget them because they looked after you in a way when you were
100%.
when you were starting off. That was the little boost that John 2 needed.
Yeah, and I want to keep that link always, man. I want to be like known as like that's the brand that the rappers wear. That's the brand that because these people, man, like they're big now for Ireland. They aren't big in the whole thing, but like I don't know if you remember, like, but when UK rap first came out, right, they rapped in American accents.
And and that's what people in Ireland now get slaved for rapping in the UK accents.
Yeah, and that's what Cello's coming out now and he's rapping in his accent, right? So Irish, like that's what I kind of not that I hopped on just because of that, but I was accidentally
It's in a
hopped onto
transition
it, right?
period, like.
I hopped onto it to the graph here where it's going to go like that.
Yeah.
You've jumped on at the good time.
Yeah.
It's like what we said last
Not that
week.
you jumped on, but like you put that and like you invested in.
I'm like just as much as they help me out, I'm
Yeah.
trying to help them out just as much, man, by
Yeah.
posting on the page and stuff like that. But like I'm trying to grow with them and grow like I love what they're doing. Like the clothes, it's a mutual kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's-
but, that's one of the main things, man. And the thing is, my big goal for this year is to have like a pop up shop, right? For like a weekend.
Where are you thinking?
Either Drogheda or Dublin.
Dundrum.
The drum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Yeah, well, you might be able to help them out on that front.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to do it. Basically, my whole thing is like,
We'll have a chat about this after.
yeah, I'd love to do it for a weekend, 3 days, right? But my whole thing is like, just the way I was in YouTube when I was doing it was like, I was never really like pristine and clean and everything. Right? I
Yeah.
want to have like a shop where people can come and chill out.
Yeah.
You can don't have to buy it if you don't want it.
The music's on.
Music's there.
Yeah.
People are coming out and chilling out,
Yeah.
meeting new people.
Like going into a van shop.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, you might sell pieces and that's great. It covers your costs. But I want to be going there not thinking about profit, but thinking about like growing a cult following of the
Yeah.
brand and that kind of way. Like having somewhere to go and.
With that in turn will then lead to the profit.
But that's your ethos, like that is your kind of like behind that all the brand is that like
Yeah.
it's not really it's not a fashion design or you know like
Yeah.
as per se it's more of a
It
lifestyle
is.
or an attitude.
Yeah,
But
it's a
you know-
lifestyle, streetwear.
Yeah,
lifestyle.
you know what I mean,
Oh,
like-
it is, yeah. But like you say, you want to build this brand and you want to get to a level that you feel is a comfortable level and it's where you can build on it then again. So all you keep thinking, it's like Lego, you're thinking of building and building and building, and it's great to see someone of the age of 21.
Yeah, you forget that you're that age as well. 'Cause what's the first thing we said to you when we say, "Oh, you're a big cunt, aren't you?" He's taller than I imagined. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought you were gonna be small. He's taller than me.
Yeah, this is a lot walking.
It's not hard to be taller than me, man. But like that's what when I was 21, man, I was just a little fucking messer. I was going to the academy. I was looking up at the ceiling trying to find my jacket. That's how bad I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Well, look, everyone has different like.
course.
Everyone has different kind of
paths.
paths, like, and like you said, like you like had to grow up maybe a little bit quicker than your bog standard person. Like
Yeah.
me, I'm still getting my ma still wipes my arse, believe me.
Yeah.
You know, I'm feeding me dinner,
Don't
but
get me
I'm slowly
wrong.
getting better.
Yeah, but like, don't get me wrong, man.
I'm sure she's still with your hole now. But
Not at all, man. Jesus Christ. But don't get me wrong, man. Like I know there's. Like I never have ever once in my life felt sorry for myself because
Of
of
course.
people that are in such worse
positions, yeah.
So much worse. I would never even thought about. Like, I actually never thought about that as a disadvantage.
No.
I've actually thought about it nearly as an advantage because that's pushing me on. I have a reason
Yeah.
to keep pushing on. I have someone there that I really want to make her for. That's my ma. Like
Yeah.
and the day that I see her, like truly happy, man, is the day that I'm truly happy. You know what I mean? So that's for me. Is
Nah, man, that's
pushing me
fucking-
on, like.
that's the dream. Like you see, like the likes of McGregor and he's putting his man up in these cars, and you're looking and you're going, that is the fucking dream. Like no matter what your relationship with your man, that is. Once you get to that level, like you say, you've gotten back talking to your dad, you've like gotten back talking to your man. That's the dream, innit? Like I'm sure you'd love to see a man Larson in a fucking two.
Every time I get locked, I turn around like, oh my god, I retire. You don't have to do. I'm still working in the bleeding supermarket, but we get there.
This is
what
for.
this
Yeah,
is.
no, 100%. Like I know, like I was talking there with someone who's like one of my mates there today. He was saying, I was saying that I don't look. I'm not expecting anything from it, but obviously I'd love for it, you know, for it to be.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
For it to set you up.
That's the cynical brain in you going, oh, I'm not expecting that from because it's so hard. But man, I'm not being funny, but if you keep going the way you're going and you build it from strength to strength and every week you're improving it, and we were talking about doing courses and things in social media and stuff and my goals for this year is I want to do a stand-up comedy gig and we're talking about doing something like that.
Sick.
Like, and that's, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that would be sick.
like I'm just a fucking messer. I went to the Laughing Lounge, right, and I didn't go to the Laughing Lounge to watch the comedians. I went to see if I felt like I could do it. And I swear to God, boys, I left there feeling like I could do it. I don't know, but maybe one day, you know.
You have to try them things, man.
Of course, I want to try everything. And
100%.
that's why I admire you, because you're doing it.
100% of the shots you don't take, you'll always miss. That is a fact. And like,
Henrik Larson.
but when you're and again, I think I said it on the podcast last week. But like when you're in your comfort zone, you kind of know you can predict what's going to happen. When you're outside your comfort zone, anything can happen.
Do you know what it's like?
It literally can.
It's like
you
one of
put
them
yourself-
it's
you
like-
throw it out,
It's
and
the
then
limit, man, for
and
that
then
shit.
anything can happen.
It's like one of them Venn diagrams, and see that middle point where everything's the same. You stay stagnant in
Yeah.
it. If you go either side of the coin, you can go down the bad.
Without sounding too philosophical, but like it's the only way that stuff actually happens. Like even I tried a little venture there last year. It's actually how we ended up contacting you.
Yeah.
We were doing like kind of like it was like between agency and we
Social
were doing a
media
bit of everything we were. But like I was like, so one of the things was football clubs. We wanted to contact football clubs, and I was like, just send an email and you get an email back.
Yeah.
So we were contacting
Salesman,
we were contacting clubs in the League of Ireland, and they're getting back to you. So like,
That's the
once
thing,
you start doing stuff,
you have to
stuff
just
starts
go
happening.
for it, man.
Yeah.
And that's
Like
even-
you going with, I forget, like,
yeah, and that's the, even football, like, there's actually, I can't say the name of the club, like, there's a championship club that...
in the Irish League, yeah.
No,
Right.
in the UK, that my mate knows the kit man for, and the kit man has showed some of the players their clothes, and they want to get over some bits, like, so it's that, like, it's like...
That's amazing.
See, like, as
that's
you said,
amazing. That is.
Yeah, but see, as you said about, like, the past ventures, like, that's the stuff that, like, right,
It
that
all
might
links
work
up.
out
The
now.
YouTube didn't work out this.
But that has
None of it's in vain, though.
But that has
None of
helped
it's in
you
vain,
out.
no.
So usually didn't work out, but the video editing and all that
Like
stuff.
as I said last week,
That just as that will for you.
Yeah, it's
you know what I
always
mean?
learning out.
that's
of
what I
it.
was saying last week. Like I moved from job to job trying to find something that fit me perfect, and that's what it is. You take something from each one and you put it all into the basket and you mix it around like a cup of tea and you see how it tastes.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Nothing's ever in vain, man. You always take something from everything. Like,
Yeah.
and just as your agency did before, like that's going to
Yeah.
help in your podcast. Just like
Exactly.
other things will,
Exactly,
you know,
man.
like there's so many skills that you like you can learn stuff in college, man, but you actually
Life
learn
skills.
life
Yeah,
skills, but
yeah.
doing, but you have to like. You can talk the talk, man, and have all the qualifications,
walk
but you
the
have
walk
to
as
do
well,
shit.
yeah,
Like you
yeah.
actually have to go and do shit. And
Stuff
fail
happens
stuff.
when you do it, yeah.
Yeah,
And then,
100%, man.
but like you can talk, like you said, you can talk forever and nothing will happen.
Controversial thing showing here, right? Do you believe in the secret?
I've heard a secret.
Right? Do you
Yeah.
believe in it?
Oh, you know what? Right, I have a perception of the secret is right that I believe in it to a sense, but I think it's a tool.
Oh man,
Yeah,
thank
see,
you.
right.
Thank
So what the secret
fucking
does
God.
for you is it puts you into the
You
position
don't
to
just
think
sit on
that
your couch and think I want this and it comes.
exactly
Yeah.
right. So you
Yeah.
don't sit there and see right. I want Ocean One to work right. It's gonna work. I'm thinking about it as
That's
much as
it.
I can.
Won't do
right?
any work.
But if
Yeah.
you're sitting there and you're doing the work and you're thinking what else would the
Positively
work,
about
thinking
it.
positively,
Why I'm doing it.
you're
There
going
you
to. So if I'm thinking positively, right, I want to email this lad and this and
go.
everything.
Yeah.
Rather than sitting in your hole watching TV going,
Can
I think
email.
it's going to work.
I think you put that perfectly.
Solid.
It's a tool.
Yeah.
Like, but I think, and even when I heard about it, like the law of attraction, the first thing you think is like just think positive thoughts and positive will happen. No, if you just sit around thinking all day, nothing will happen.
That's like me looking in the mirror thinking I'm not fat. I'm still fat. Like, you know what I mean? It doesn't.
You're
you
not
have to
bad. Is
work.
that, are you fishing for the compliment? You're not
I'm not.
bad.
But like that's exactly touching on what Keenan said there about the secret. You're dead on. Like you can think as much as you want about something,
Yeah.
but if you don't get up, if you don't get out, and to quote me old friend Molly May, I want to point into my perspective of what she said. Right, everyone has the same 24 hours in the day. Some people have different circumstances, so they can only do
Yeah.
a certain amount with it. But it's what you do in that certain amount, that realms of your actual possibilities that you can do. Fucking do it.
You're dealt a certain deck of cards,
Yeah.
and again,
Sometimes you have to
just
sit there and play blackjack.
Yeah. You have to double down on
Or snap if you don't know how to play blackjack, because I don't know how
bit
to
of
play.
Uno, bit of Uno. But
But
yeah,
everything takes work, man.
Yeah.
And if you get like, you can't just stick stuff if you don't put the graft in. But if you're putting the graft in, man, it's going to get you somewhere.
but you know what I cannot wait for, Keenan, when we do a part 2, and you'll be able to tell us and all of the viewers of how well it's going.
Yeah, man. Like, Ocean One goes to the bigger company ever, I'll still be here. I love this.
That's what I love about you, man.
That's because he wants a point, though.
Yeah, free
Man.
free point.
Next time we have the K game, and the next time we
So, while we're on the subject of goals, what's your goals for this year?
grow the following.
Yeah.
Naturally, and again,
Not buying them.
definitely not mine. That's a pet peeve of mine.
Anyone want me to pay them €2 to follow us this year? I'm trying to get to 100.
No, grow, man. But generally, just put out good content.
Yeah, it's-
because I feel like if we put out good content, and so far
They attract the follow.
yeah, that goes hand in hand. But for me, this is just something I've wanted to do for so long.
I don't know.
Be careful, watching.
Very
for me, I just wanted to do this for so long. But I've always thought of excuses. So even the first time we were talking about, I've always thought of an excuse not to do
My
it.
main excuse was COVID.
COVID was
And-
yeah,
Yeah.
and now we can't use it.
And we had spots to do it in as well.
Yeah.
But
But-
this is the perfect spot.
But basically,
Amazing,
be
man.
consistent. and
Yeah.
put up good content that people love to watch,
Yeah.
and then from there, whatever happens. I know that's a bit sitting on the fence, but
No,
yeah.
that's
So
fine.
that's what I.
And then have you got any personal goals then other than the podcast?
I would love to have another fight.
Another fight?
In either
Give me a
K1
fucking
or MMA. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Bollocks every 2 weeks.
a registered fight. We have plenty of them.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. No, I'd love to.
It's bigger bones.
I'd love to get into having another fight. Obviously, sort out my employment.
Yeah.
Not that.
No.
What I'm doing at the moment is great because it's looked after me for Christmas and all like that. But kind of sort out a career path for after that, and then maybe lose a bit of this timber because it's not too flattering to look at. But
He used to be a 2x1, now he's a fucking 4x2.
yeah, lose a bit of that, and then other than that, just be generally a good skin.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep doing what we're doing.
Keep being yourself.
Yeah,
Love it.
What about yourself now?
My goals, obviously, like you say with the podcast, I want to put out content that I believe in, and if I don't believe in it, I'm not going to sit here and waffle and miss 30 minutes of the episode and go back and do it again. Do you know what I mean? And that's
I think that's why it was easy to do to go back and do it again because
Yeah.
it wasn't
Yeah,
fabricated or it wasn't.
I actually want to
scripted.
just stay here and talk all night.
Oh, well, we will.
Yeah.
But that'll be off camera.
Yeah.
Even when we first came in the door, man, we got along also.
Yeah, and even on the phone
yesterday,
yeah.
an hour before.
Keenan was saying me and you were like yin and yang. Just you have the
I was the level head,
Yeah.
you were the wild card.
run the way, yeah.
You're the kid who's calming you down.
Yeah.
Ball shot.
Yeah, my other goals for the year then, just keeping with that topic, is probably for myself would be to lose a bit of weight. Definitely, like, I know I'm not
Just better yourself, yeah.
just to better myself, and then sort out in my own mind and heart what I want to do career wise, like yourself. Like I'm working at the moment in sales and I want to stick to it, but I want to make sure that that's the right
Yeah,
move for me. Yeah,
Well, lads, I have to say, I know it's not the very end of it, but that was class.
yeah.
No,
I've
definitely.
enjoyed that so much.
Like we've plugged Ocean One so much, but again, we've said it before about sharing and commenting and liking. If even 1% of people could just go over to his page and give her a follow,
Deal.
it's just
You won't regret it for one.
you really won't.
And
The
secondly,
content is fucking quality.
it's helping out.
In
Not
Irish.
that this is gonna sound a bit this sounding a bit charitable. I'm not looking at
Young
because
Irish
he's doing
man.
great, but help fucking one of our own get to that next level.
He's
You know,
one of
Well, it's the
our
same as
own.
this, man. It's the same. It's just like that's the thing, man. Some people do something and they kind of feel like jealousy of someone else doing better than them. Like, but I want to see people grow together, man.
It's like-
It's an Irish thing as well for me.
Yeah.
It might be an Irish thing for me, but once I see an Irish person doing that, because I think it is like people kind of underestimate, and I think Conor McGregor is one of the main ones that has shown that when you're born Irish, man.
Man after me own heart.
Yeah, but when you're born Irish, man, you are born at a disadvantage, man, because you don't see it
Fighting
a
Irish.
lot. You don't see a lot of big Irish people in the thing, man. In the same of much things, and Conor McGregor is kind of the first one that broke into the UFC. Like, there's a few, Irish.
Yeah, Paddy, Sinead, all them.
Yeah, you see a few of them, but you don't see a lot, man. And I think people underestimate you, man. When you're born Irish, you're born the wrong side of the sea for a lot of people, and the UK people, the USA people get a lot more. It's a lot quicker. It's a lot easier for them.
Yeah,
there's
There's a lot
something about
more
being
people.
Irish though, isn't it? That I know it's like, but yeah, like we were on talking about like how much we love an old ballad and all like that. But
Yeah.
there is something that makes you gives you that patriotic side.
Yeah,
and
man.
a bit
It comes
proud.
to the kind of chieftain kind of thing, man. You're in your little group of people, man. If you want to see everyone doing well, man, and that's the thing. I think Irish people have to kind of stick together for that. kind of
Yeah,
sense of
Yeah,
being,
I want to say, yeah, we should change.
Like,
We should change our overall outlook, like you said, supporting each other as opposed to kind of
Yeah, like the cancel
begrudging
culture,
and-
yeah. Yeah.
Like we should be kind of like, especially a country. I know history is history, but a country that's literally always been fighting, always been the underdog, should literally
Band
change.
together, band of brothers.
Yeah, there shouldn't be kind of divides, and there shouldn't be.
There's always going to be divides in life, but you should be, if you're in a community or in a friend group or in any sort of work environment or anything like that, someone you see is doing better or is going out of their way and is doing something, you should fucking support them and not go, oh, he's a lick arse, or he's only a shite bag supporting the Irish rap scene.
Yeah.
You should just give, man, it takes 3 seconds to share something that they put up. It takes 3 seconds to like something. It takes 3 seconds to turn around and go, Keenan, do you know what? Very fucking play. That's all. That's all it takes. Do you know what I
And
mean?
like you said, like we're all guilty of it, but we can all do a bit better.
course,
But
yeah.
at the same time, like
Michael Jackson
take
said,
it as
start with the man in the mirror,
exactly.
even if you don't like him.
Right, last thing before we
Mates
wrap
rates.
it up, mate rates for this week.
So we're gonna go with just keeping the theme of Keenan's brand, Ocean One, and we are going to go with our top 5 clothing companies, clothing brands, streetwear brands. So the first one was one that I touched on earlier on, was Represent Clothing.
Sick.
Oh man, the gear is unbelievable.
You know what?
Wait, these are your ones, so you call out the two.
Yeah, so even for me, man, Represent for me is more your man George Heaton, man. Yeah, I think so. Basically, I don't know if you know this, but like a lot of companies, right? They go kind of big in the streetwear, right? And then they go to JD Sports.
Yeah.
And that eats them alive, and takes profit out of them when they're gone, right? Represent was kind of, I don't know if you know Hype.
They went into JD.
Yeah, they were on the same path as each other.
They were like a younger.
Yeah, Represent them went to the other path of staying independent, the kind of thing. And your man George, man Heaton, like big thing for me is to look at what he's doing. Like,
same with Gymshark.
Yeah, exactly. Ben Francis on that as well, man. Is that whole thing of like, I respect him so much for what he's done for his brand, because he's kind of what I want to not emulate myself off, but kind of follow his kind of level. Who else do we have? Montclair. The reason I have Montclair in there is because of jackets. So obviously I have Ocean One jackets coming out that are fairly model off the Montclair. At a cheaper kind of price, you know what I mean? Huh?
Do you want to go and grab it?
You want it now,
the black ones aren't on sale.
Fair.
That's just for me, man. I have another one, but the cream ones are on sale. The next collection, they're
poster all loaded.
Yeah, they're actually real like duck feather, which is duck down. So if you're a vegan, they're the same as a Montclair. They're duck down jackets, like
duck instead of Canada Goose. I went to a different postcode there, that's the point.
You know what, man, I might even have to draw the duck jacket on the side now, man, but yeah, usually draw the duck down jackets, man.
Draw the duck!
Yeah, we have to have lunch, man. We have so much that was dropping this next season for me was probably the biggest one. All the kind of other seasons were the t-shirts or hoodies, or sorry, t-shirts or hats. Right, this one for me, I think I have, bro, of my own money, I think I have probably 6-7 grand in this next collection.
And would you say you're going with tracksuits, you're going with jackets? Would you say you would go into runners? And
yeah, I want to go runners so bad. I love my shoes, man.
Yeah.
But even this weekend, man, Saturday, this is out the next day after, but it's just one of my best mates' birthday on Saturday. Like, I'm gonna broke for this, man, because I have all my money in this next collection. Like, that's how much I believe in it, like myself. Is putting all the money into this. Skipped song and stuff over the last few months, and obviously I feel sorry for the people that have skipped it for, but it's going to be worth it in the end. And so I have Montclair for the jackets, like the kind of model of them, and then who else did I have on that list?
Who else did you have, for God's sake?
Oh, Ocean One itself. Yeah, you have a list, but Ocean One itself, man, I think you have to kind of believe in what you're putting out there, and that's the thing about Ocean One. You kind of put out a lot of products very, very slow, because I wouldn't put out anything that I wouldn't wear myself. And I think everything that you sell on my site, I always keep one of myself. I'm always wearing it out.
He does pay as well.
I actually do. I'm always wearing it out myself, man, because I believe in that much. And I've gotten so much stuff in at like samples, say, right, at a cheaper price, and I could have sold them off and hated them and made the money off it. Like, but for me, it's more about like will I wear that myself? And I think that becomes in the long run is that like when stuff that I wear myself, then the younger person will wear it themselves. The person that like was me when they were 16, 17.
Yeah.
They might be able to afford it now, man. But that's the thing, man. A lot of followers that I have now are younger. They can't afford it now. Like, and hopefully I'm keeping them on that when they get older and they get money, then they're like,
when they start working.
Like you said earlier, it's not just about selling. It's like
it's a whole thing, man. I wanted it to be like. I actually want to touch on this now as well. Ocean One, the YouTube channel. So basically, I used to have me on YouTube, rebranded to Ocean One. This year, at some point, I want to basically bring an Ocean One out as like a media thing, right? So I want to be able to go to rappers like Opposite, Keds, stuff like that, right? Basically, give me like it's called 30 Ends. So to be able to bring me around where they grew up, all over Ocean One, the newest collections and stuff like that.
That's an exclusive, that is.
Yeah, there you go, man. So I want to be able to them kind of walk me around where they grew up, the hardships, like a podcast, but in a shorter kind of form.
Do a tour of my ends.
Yeah, you can wear the Ocean One.
You don't want to do a tour of Tallaght. There's nothing to stay on. You just swear, and it's not even swear. Swear in Tallaght Stadium.
Fuck's sake, man. But basically just bring people around, kind of show the people like what they've come from and to where they are now, and obviously we're Ocean One in that for a bit of branding. But big plans for Ocean One next year.
Perfect.
Or this year even.
The last two on it there, so my one was Nike. Speaks for itself.
Even Ocean One's based off Nike, man, because Nike You see it everywhere. Go to the airport, you'll see it. Go to the shops, you'll see it. It's everywhere, man, because it's practical.
I know, man.
Yeah.
I like obviously like runners now. You know what I hate? The big, huge, fucking thick. I hate wearing a t-shirt. Now it looks nice on you, but on me, I look just like a big pudding walking around with Nikes and.
Why?
And no, it doesn't.
Keenan, give him a bleeding fitness.
No,
man.
I'm not saying it doesn't appeal to me because I don't want to walk around like an advertising. Whereas this is like a, do you know what I mean? Like there's a different sport. Anyways, I won't compare you to Phil Nike. He tricked us all, as Macklemore said. My one, I think so, yeah. Macklemore said Phil Nike tricked us all.
Right.
My one would be Vans. Obviously, that's all I wear, man. All I wear.
Vans,
Just
yeah.
comfort. And
Vans are classic.
I look like a 40-year-old IT man.
Can't go wrong with a pair of Vans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
always,
just-
man. Anything kind of skaterish, man. Like
Yeah.
It's making
see,
a comeback, isn't it? The skater.
yeah,
The skater, yeah.
like
She was a skater boy. She says.
even Supreme started off as a skating shop, not even
Yeah.
as a brand.
Yeah.
So
The boards and stuff.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna want. Then that the whole like the shop's kind of off. That one for Ocean One.
Will you bring out a board? Yeah.
Man, I used to,
Oh yeah, actually, that would be a sick.
Bro, I used to when I was at like 10 or 11. You just want to be a skater basically. I mean,
Yeah, I
I'm
used to-
there and all right.
I used to go on the inlines.
I grew up in this council estate, right, where there was just man. It wasn't tarmac. It was like
Lumpy.
lumpy.
Yeah.
Man, I used to skate the whole way down, man. Like
You're getting fucking trauma off the board.
Like
Oh.
fucking hard Weetabix.
bro, trying to do a kickflip on a fucking road that has a cobblestone.
Yeah.
Like,
sounds
I
like
know,
oh,
the
man.
struggle is real. The
Yeah,
struggle
so
is
I wanna be
real.
a skater. That's why I'm not a skater, man. You know what I mean?
The struggle is real. Look where he lives.
You looked at them when you come past them golden gates.
Look at that. Money winding you up. Like
Yeah.
Black Book you are. Yeah, so then I suppose we touching on what we said before. If you could do us a massive favour and we just want to plug Keenan one more time because we can't kiss the boy's arse enough.
Yeah.
If you can just give him a follow and a like, and that's all we ask. And,
Yeah.
and the YouTube channel,
We'll drop
the
all
Instagram,
the,
we'll all
we'll drop,
leave it
all, drop it all in the,
Yeah.
the links in the description. So just give it a follow.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose we'll just touch on next week's episode quickly.
Yeah.
What episode this been? It's gonna be a hard follow though.
It's going to be a hard follow, but the research for next week's episode is going to be solid because it's all I ever do.
Yeah.
Watch YouTube videos.
So we won't give away the name,
Nope.
but we have a professional FIFA player coming on next week. I think that's one of the best things I've ever heard because I just used to spend my childhood playing FIFA,
And for a
breaking
second,
controllers and putting dents in the wall. So this lad does this for a living. Great character. Worked with him in a supermarket.
Same one
that I'm actually in now, and really great guy. So
And we might try and do a segment where we get him to give us a game. See how it goes.
yeah. I still reckon I could beat him. I'm very good at FIFA, but we'll see.
So why you not proud of him? Why you working in the supermarket still? He's not.
I said I'll give him a chance. Right. I think that's about time.
Yeah, Keenan, listen, thanks for
appreciate
coming on,
it.
man. It's been awesome.
I'll be on again. Definitely.
Oh, you will definitely, brother. Definitely, brother.
Right.
Okay.
And that's us.
Over now.